What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. This is Never Had Shawarma. I'm here with a whole mess of the TCC guys. As you can see in Vent, there's a whole list of them. Bong in clips. We got Optic in here, Heaven's Fallen, Canna, of course, with our beautiful intro. We've got Machete, we've got Nuke Lelouch, Ren 10, and of course the ever wonderful Scooby Snacks. And thanks for tuning in to our end of the world live stream shindig thing. So let's jump into it. Say hi, everybody. Let's start at the top of the list. Vent list. Bongin, where you at?
Yo, what's up, guys? This is Bongin from TCC. What's up? Hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. We got some good stuff coming for you.
Clips, are you kicking around?
Yeah, I'm here. What's going on, guys? Enjoy the stream.
And Optic, where you at?
Yo, what's up, guys? So I hope you have a wonderful time with our stream, and as always, have fun watching it.
As always, indeed. Heaven's Fallen, you kicking around too?
Hey guys, have fun. Stay in school and don't do drugs.
And of course, Canna is here. Say hello.
Hi guys, what's going on? What you doing?
That was cute. Machete, where you at?
Hola, ¿cómo estás, todo el mundo? Translate to how you doing, everyone.
Why you gotta show everybody up like that, dude?
I'm saying, though.
And, of course, myself, Never Had Shawarma. Don't pay attention to me, I'm not special. Nuke Lelouch, you kicking around?
Happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Cute. Ren 10, where are you? You kicking?
Poop.
God.
Right now, everybody's thinking, kid or female? Scooby Snacks, where are you?
Hey guys, welcome to the stream. We got a lot of good stuff for you guys today. If you have any questions, feel free to type it on the stream and we'll get those answered.
Shawarma's a dick.
Thank you, kind sir. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, type them into the stream. We'll get to them eventually. We'll just be kind of reading it as we go along. I'll spend most of my time reading it. So, yeah, let's jump into it. Of course, the first thing we want to cover is the ever wonderful Update 9 with the new weapons and all the new content and stuff. But before I jump into that, I just do want to say one more thank you to Euphoria for being so accommodating with Scooby and myself on the dev stream and visiting their offices yesterday. So that was really cool of you guys. Thank you. Update 9. Let's jump into it. New weapons. What are you guys' thoughts on the new AR, the Brick Arms assault rifle?
I really like it.
It's okay.
I'm of the opinion. Yeah, okay, alright, yeah. So the good, I like the damage. The rate of fire is cool. I love that if you get a headshot and then you've got the melee skill, the melee damage boosting perk or whatever you want to call it, that it's, a one-shot headshot and then melee and you can get a guy. So I do like that. I hate the ADS. The scope is absolutely horrendous on it, and exactly, and I hate that you can't change it. There's no alternative scope. It is booty.
But I will say that it's probably the next contender to the Scabar.
I would agree, yes. The only reason I'm using the Scab currently right now over it is because of that wonderful scope that's on it. Scooby, what do you think? Have you had a chance to play with it yet?
I've actually been playing with the Havoc. I'll more than happy to discuss the Havoc mods. I haven't really played with the Brick Arms weapons yet, mostly because I'm a completionist, and so I'm waiting to get my Havoc to level 4 and stuff. But I could talk about that now if you want.
All right, yeah. Let's just cover the Brick Arms guns, and then we'll move on to the alterations on the Havoc there. Has anybody here used the submachine gun, the new Brick Arms SMG? I personally love it. It's my second favorite SMG next to the Razor now.
Same here.
It's a lot of fun to play with.
I love it too.
Yeah, I got both the Brick Arms equipped. Love it.
Yeah, and again, you know, you can't. There's no attachments, you know, no mags or anything for it. Which I would like to see an extended mag both for it and the assault rifle. Um, but you know, all in all, they're a lot of fun. And I did have a bunch of people comment on they didn't like the looks of them. You know, they were too plain and all the rest. But like, I know most of you haven't seen the actual Brick Arms guns, but they showed them to us at the Euphoria offices yesterday, Scoob and I, and that's what they look like. You know, they're meant to be plain kind of Lego style looking guns. So, you know, it's not like they got lazy. That's what the guns are intentionally made to look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
In defense of the guns, they actually look a lot better when you skin them. So, I mean, for those people that don't like them, definitely check out the skins. They're pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, good call. I don't have any of the skins on mine yet. Maybe I'll go buy one just to. Oh my God, there's a pink camo.
Oh, I gotta get it.
It's called a pattern we originally called penguin in a slaughterhouse, but the phrase wouldn't fit. That's slightly diabolical. Good for them. Yeah, Kriskin brings up a good point. Don't say Lego, I'll get sued. So not Lego.
Minifigs.
Minifigs. Yeah, minifigs. Who said Lego? I didn't hear Lego.
Well, we can say it. We're not representatives of OC. So our
Fine,
opinions
say it.
don't really-
Sing it.
I'm just saying. Just throwing that out.
All right. So has anybody? I know K-Jock has, but he's not here. Has anybody else played with the Noob Tube, the new Brick Arms one?
I have.
How do you like it?
In comparison, I mean, obviously I love my original, but it's a little slower, but you get more grenades in the round. I mean, in the mag. So I would say that once it's leveled up, it'll be close to, but not as good as the Noob Tube. So, I mean, I'm a personal fan, so I'm more partial to it.
Do you think it's going to be more of a preference thing, or do you think it's just right now it's a tad underpowered just because the fire rate's that you know, a little bit slow?
I would definitely say it's a preference thing. I mean, if your aim isn't that great, and you need the extra grenades to get the kills, then yeah. But I mean, me personally, I mean, I may just switch them out depending on the match, maybe depending on the mood. But I mean, I'd say after you get all the spins and you level it all up, I think it's going to be a definite second to the original Noob Tube.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting because, you know, just looking at the stats and all the rest, I mean, I'm not a Noob Tube guy. I haven't even used I mean, maybe a couple times on Shortest Yard just for fun, but the original Noob Tube, I've barely even used it. So I mean, for me to talk about it, all I can look at is the stats, and it was kind of interesting to me because just looking at it just purely from a stats perspective, it seemed like, why would I buy the new Brick Arms one? Because the original seems better to me, but again, I'm no professional with the Noob Tubes by any stretch, so, you know, take it for what it's worth.
Yeah, I wouldn't even... No, I was gonna say I wouldn't go so far as to kind of knock it, because honestly, after you do your spins, because you'll get the same damage, you get the same speed, velocity. The only thing is that the rate of fire may be slightly slower, which, I mean, you can probably compensate for that if you get your timing down. So I mean, in essence, it's pretty much the same thing, just a tad bit slower.
Does your total ammo come into play that often with the original Noob Tube? How much ammo do you have with it?
I would say yes. I have a +2 on my mag, and it definitely helped when I first got it. But with this, I mean, this may just change it, man, because there are times when I die right before I could get one more kill, and this may be the one that I may turn to, depending, you know, especially if it's a full match. I definitely may turn to this new Noob Tube.
Gotcha.
All right, well, with all that covered, let's jump over to Scoob. And dude, can you go over the Havoc real quick? You said you've been playing with it. I haven't had the chance to play with it yet, so I think you're probably in the best position.
So the Havoc got a lot of love this particular patch. As most of you know, those that have played OC for a while, the Havoc, which was pretty much the go-to weapon in closed beta, was was pretty much the worst assault rifle in open beta, and that's because the mods really didn't work out for it as well as it did for the other assault rifles. And so what they did in this particular patch was they changed a bunch of things. They increased the rate of fire for the Havoc. They increased the accuracy for the Havoc, so it's almost as accurate as the Scab now. It shoots pretty fast. It's again not as fast as the bullet weapons, like the Scab, the K36, the Arbiter, but it's a pulse weapon, pulse energy weapon. It shoots fairly quickly, almost to the tune of the Mode 4. It's in the same vein, a little bit slower. But the big thing is, this was always the biggest advantage of the Havoc, is the Havoc does a lot of damage. It does 17 damage to the body, and I think default 23 to the head. But the thing that I find really, really interesting is you can get, and I bought the Brainstorm mod for the Havoc this morning, and what that gives you, it gives you +9 headshot damage. And so now when I shoot people with a headshot, I do 32 damage to them from the Havoc, which is very, very strong. I really like the gun. I think it's balanced. I'm not sure if I like it better than the Scab or some of the other guns, mostly because I haven't played with those today. I've just been focusing on the Havoc, so I don't have a really a good comparison right now. But I will say it feels very competitive. It feels strong, and if you're a really, really good aimer like Optic, you actually might like it better than the Scab. The Scab is, from what I've read on the forums, from what Blazane has posted and stuff, it's actually supposed to be the more precision weapon, and its time to kill is a little bit better if you get headshots. But I mean, if you can get headshots all the time, yeah, possibly. But with this one, I don't know. I think it feels like it forgives a little bit more than some of the other guns. So definitely check it out. It's worth checking out. It's good. One thing that I will say is I've been a big fan of all of the batteries and the magazines that give you more bullets in your mag. But the major drawback of the Havoc is its reload time is horrible. I mean, it takes a long time for it to reload in comparison with the other guns. And so, usually I buy the battery C. This time I bought the battery S, which increases your reload time by 20%. And it feels stronger with this particular gun than some of the other guns. I mean, a lot of you guys who have read, my particular opinions on, mods on the forums and stuff, I've been a big supporter of those, more bullets in the mag, because my philosophy has always been, a bullet in the mag is better than reload speed. But in this particular case, I actually think if you're going to play around with the Havoc, it's actually better to get the other one, just because the reload rate is so slow. So what that means is you have to be a little bit more cautious about how you play. You have to make sure that you always have a fresh mag loaded in your gun. But assuming that you do that, which is what the better players do anyways,
agreed.
It's a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun with this. It is competitive compared to the other guns now, and just like all the other assault rifles, it's a preference thing, right? We all have our favorites. Everyone that you see here on the stream has a different favorite. You'll find fans with different assault rifles, and some of you might actually decide that you like the Havoc better than the Scab or some of the other ones.
That makes me really want to try it. That's I'm interested now. Big Bad Nudist in the stream chat says he loves the new Havoc, but he feels it's not quite as good as the Scab due to the low accuracy. And Scooby, he's asking for your thoughts on that in particular.
Well, this is true. I mean, if you're playing on a big map, if you're like on Hydroponic or something, I do notice it's not as accurate as the Scab. That's a given. But I think that's where the Scab is king. But I mean, if you're on like Ghetto Blaster, like I'm playing right now, it's really good. I don't notice it that much. I only notice it when I'm really shooting at range. So my mid-range shots, I really don't notice. I get about the same accuracy. And I'm really, really good with the Scab and a lot of the other guns. I usually get at least one headshot for every kill that I get, so I usually get one in there. Sometimes I get more. But, you know, the Scab is more accurate. It's really not that different. But at the same time, that might be because I also bought the stock, the one that gives you plus 10 stability. So that might be why I don't see that much of a difference from the Scab. I will say the Scab is more accurate. But once you mod out the Havoc, it's pretty close. It's really not all that different.
Well, just to add to that, Scooby, I remember that there was a post by Blazane in the forums, and he was kind of saying that with the changes, it's more like they want to promote you using it for body shots more than headshots because of the way they tweaked out the accuracy. So those users that like the OP5 may want to check this out because of the way the spread is on this and how it shoots. I actually was using it in a couple matches on hydroponic, and I actually did really good with it. So for those of you that may not have like that headshot accuracy, this may be the gun to try out now.
Yes, this is definitely true. Blazane posted the numbers on the forums. He said, if you get all headshots, the Havoc is the superior weapon. If you get more headshots, you know, you'll probably want to go with the Scab. But, you know, that said, they're both very, very close, and I would suggest that you get the Brainstorm mod, because, I don't know, every player, you guys should be trying to get headshots anyways. And so if you can get like one headshot or something, it makes a big difference. I mean, 32 damage is a lot. I mean, you know, that's like old school mode 4 OP.
I still don't think that it's quite balanced. I think that it's still a little bit underpowered.
That could be, yeah.
Alright, so what we talked about while the stream went down was the Havoc. And I think the general consensus is that the Havoc, the changes are definitely, the changes with patch 9 are definitely a step in the right direction. Scooby definitely likes the gun. But some of us still have questions about how viable it is as a serious choice. It feels a little bit wonky just because of how different it is from all the other assault rifles. So it definitely takes some getting used to. But overall, I think we all like it a lot more than we did before. But since it's just so close, we're doing the stream so close to the patch, we're going to kind of wait a little bit longer to reserve judgment. And I think we're going to segue into a new... Oh, go ahead, Scoop.
Yeah, so, you know, just really quick, I guess the takeaways is it's a lot better than it was before. If you bought it before but didn't play with it because it was bad, try playing with it now. The Battery S mod is probably the better one to get. That's the faster reload, and this is probably the only time that you'll hear me tell you to get that mod other than the other one. The gun is mathematically better if you score all body shots. If you get one headshot, it's about the same as the Scab. If you are really good with getting headshots with an AR, go for a Scab. If you let's see, there was one other point I wanted to make. If you if you are bad at even scoring body shots, don't go with the Havoc because it's pretty unforgiving with that. And then that's about it.
All right, well, so there you have it. We've wrapped up the Havoc a bit. Let's move on to all the other little bits and pieces about Update 9. Stuff I just want to mention are you'll notice all the loading tips now on your loading screens and the tutorial little button in the top right corner and stuff like that. It seems like this this update rather was kind of not 100% geared towards new people, but definitely some effort was put into helping out the newbies who are just joining on Facebook and all the rest to really get the basics of the game, not just get tossed into a game and wondering what the hell they're doing. I personally think the loading tips are, some of them are useful, some of them are not. It's whatever. But I think the tutorial was really cool. It teaches you the very basics. It's nice and straightforward. It's quick, but it's informative enough that you'll be able to join a game and actually know how to throw a grenade and use a pwn and stuff like that. So, did anybody else? Did you get a chance to play with the tutorial or anything?
It's a well-designed level.
Yeah, the tutorial is beautiful.
Yeah, it almost feels like an extension to. Yeah, it's kind of like an extension of Shortest Yard. Just kind of gives me that feel.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The games needed it for a while, and they did an excellent job with.
I have to agree. I definitely am impressed with it. As well as the loading tips. There's a couple good ones. I saw one in particular on there that was press M to hide and show your mini-map, which was very cool because I've had a lot of people ask me about that. And actually, when I was talking to Dunham, he was saying that it's smart enough to know, those loading tips, rather, are smart enough to know if you've remapped that key. Like, if I changed it to, my comma key, that loading tip would then say, hit your comma key to bring your mini-map back. So I thought that was really cool, too.
That is good. I actually think my favorite part...
Sorry, go ahead.
I actually think my favorite part of the update is that it shows everybody's levels in game now.
Oh yeah,
it's just a easy little feature, but quick. Just I don't know what there's something about it that just knowing the levels of people you're playing with and against, it's really nice.
Yeah, and what I like about it is, before the update, and I would get called a hacker, like every single game. And now I think that people being able to see my level, they might just go, oh, he's level, 38 or whatever he is, or if Scooby's in there, he's level 47, and, we're all under level 15. So that it makes sense why he's stomping the crap out of us. Oh, okay, he's not hacking, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of take some of the guesswork out of who you're playing against, and I quite enjoy that because I think it'll explain, why some of the things are happening that people are seeing in games that generally they just go, oh, he's a hacker. So I have to agree with you, Bong, and I love that little feature.
Also, I really like that they added add friends feature in the lobby screens.
Yeah.
Really smart.
Now, see, I have to agree with Kajak on that one, and he brought this up earlier, is that is a double-edged sword because, it's cool. Like, you see somebody you're playing with, you click on their name, and bam, you add them to the friends list. That's great, but on the other side of that, it's, a lot of people just go through and add everybody who's in, the top 3 positions, and I get tons of random friend requests from it now.
See, I've gotten tons of random friend requests from before, so I haven't seen much of a difference. I think it's more helpful and useful. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, right? I think that the friend request has more to do with people seeing your levels now than the convenience of that being there. Because they're, if they figure out, oh, here's one of the top players, they're gonna type your name no matter what. So, that's just my opinion. I get the same amount of friend requests before as I do now, which is honestly, it's about a dozen a day.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't see it. I've never been mentioned on the dev stream on the leaderboard and stuff like that. So I didn't get it as much, but now I definitely noticed an increase for sure. Just with the sheer amount of people, and most of it's just I haven't even talked to them in game. I literally have not said a word to these people. They just add me because I've done well in the game, and I don't mind it. I usually accept most friend requests, but it's kind of annoying to I don't know. I guess it's just a little pet peeve of mine, to be honest.
I think it's I think it's a good thing. If you take it from the perspective of, there are people who are just spam friend requests, but if you're someone who you legitimately became friends with someone in game, you were talking with them for a while, you thought they're a cool player, it's just a nice, convenient thing. I don't mind it so much.
Now Optic can't hide.
His name.
Yeah. Yeah, no, overall, I think it's a good feature. It just kind of annoys me a little bit, but I'll get over it. Moving on a little bit, Scooby, earlier you were talking about announcer settings, and I actually haven't even played with this yet.
It's pretty sweet. Yeah, I noticed it today because I was, just exploring. I mean, they put in a lot of stuff into Update 9. In general, I think it's a good update. There are some bugs to be worked out, which are mostly to do with, crashes and that kind of stuff. But there is a setting now. Let me see what it's called so I can tell you exactly. It's under Extra, and there's a checkbox that says Flavor Voiceovers. And if you click that, what it does is it turns the game into kind of an Unreal Tournament mode, to where when you get kill streaks, you'll actually have a voiceover that will tell you those kill streaks, and the voiceover will go like, multi-kill, overkill, that kind of stuff. The UT stuff that everyone on the forums and stuff liked so much. So you get that, but in addition to that, you'll also get stuff like full health. When you toss a grenade, it'll go like fire in the hole. So there are little things like that, and you also get like a low health when you get to, I think it's around 30% health. It'll go, you have low health. So it's just some more indicators for the game that I think are kind of nice. They're not. The voice is cool, and apparently the voice, I think it's Vanderbeest's voice, so that's what he sounds like. They're not annoying. They're not annoying sounding or anything. They're really, really nice. I'm playing with those on right now. I think certain things, the stuff like low health, you have full health, that's a little too much, in my opinion. I mean, I don't mind it so much right now, but I can see how I can get sick of it for a while. So if there's any devs watching, if you could, put 2 checkboxes, maybe one that says, kind of informational voiceovers, and killstreak voiceovers. I would definitely appreciate that, because I think the killstreak thing is really cool. It's UT mode. Whereas for the other stuff, it is useful, but you get that a lot, and so basically there's a guy who's talking to you all the time.
Yeah, that gets to be a little excessive. I do agree.
A little excessive.
Yeah.
It's useful sometimes, especially if you're in like a heavy firefight and you're not looking at your health bar, to have the guy, tell you have low health. And there's definitely, I've changed my behavior, just today, because there was a guy who said that. They're like, oh, you have low health. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go for this guy. I'm going to hide around the corner for a little bit. So it has changed my behavior a bit, and so some people will find that useful. It's a little much, but that's something that players might like. As for me, I really, really like the kill streak thing. It's just, I like that sound. I love that in UT, and we have it now in OC. So check it out. It's just a checkbox. Go to Settings, Extra, the Extras tab, and click on the checkbox.
There you have it. Another thing I want to touch on quick that we kind of skipped over, and thank you to Clips for bringing this to my attention, was all the changes in the pistols in Update 9. And Clips, did you want to take over that? Because I'm sure you know a lot more about it than I do.
Well, I always gave them a hard time for the pistols, and I think they did a really good job with these. I think the Mod 4 pistol nerf was not desperate, but I think it was somewhat needed. I think it was a little too strong. I think the Beagle got a nice rework. I think me and Nuke were playing with it last night.
Yeah, the fire rate
I think they did a good job. They increased the fire rate a little bit, and I think they did a good job with that. And then I forget who was telling me about it before, but somebody told me to try the Badger, and I think it might be my new favorite gun in the game. I mean, I've liked the Vendetta before, but the Badger now, pretty much they just gave it a little headshot and body shot damage, and it's pretty much you can shoot as fast as you want. And I think they pretty much hit the nail on the head with that one. If you guys want to throw in anything.
Yeah, K-Jack has been singing its praises since the update, so he's probably the one you heard saying it. But yeah, it's definitely a lot better now.
Yeah, sorry about the stream going black, guys. Kind of just fixed it right now. I'm having a lot of issues with offensive combat tonight, so I do apologize for that. But what can you do? Just speak up next time, man. God.
Jeez,
Renten.
Well, I could have interrupted, but I feel like a douche.
Well, you both suck. Anyway, let's
Shawarma,
let's
number
move
one
on.
douchebag.
Yes, I am. Love you too, buddy. Anyway, let's move on. Is there anything else about Update 9 you guys want to talk about? Anything at all? I think we've pretty much covered it.
I'll do a in-detailed review post later on, now that I've played a whole day with it. But in general, I like everything they've done. Everything that they've done to the game, it's pretty awesome. I love this update. The only bad thing I have to say about this update is it's still kind of buggy. Hopefully they'll get this fixed, today and tomorrow. There are a lot of crashes that happen. Other than that, though, it's really good. It's probably the best update that they pushed out.
I would agree. I do really, pretty much 98% of it I like. Other than this whole crashing thing, I'm not sure what this is about, but they'll get back to it. They'll figure it out. So aside from Update 9, I mean, again, if you guys want like a really in-depth review of it, Scooby, I'm sure, will definitely deliver on his forum post, as he always does. Let's move on a little bit.
Quests.
Oh, hang on.
Oh yeah, weekly quests.
Oh, dailies and weeklies. Yes, Bongin, you rock. Take it away, dude. Talk about it. Or Canna, or Machete, or somebody. Scooby and I have been doing too much talking.
So for those that don't know, the devs added in quests. There are they're essentially quests, and they come in two different forms. One's a weekly quest, and the other is a daily. And we don't know a ton about them yet because we haven't seen the rotation go through all of them. But basically, they're going to ask you to, they're going to set a goal for you, and once you do what it's asking you to do, you get a small bonus, and I'm not even sure how big that bonus is or what the amount of it'll be. But I'm assuming it's just the XP. It might include coin. I'm not sure.
So it's XP and coin, and apparently for the coin side, it's 2,000 for the weekly, and I think 200 for the daily. I think that's what that's what K-Jock said earlier, because he actually unlocked them yesterday.
It was posted by Thinking Fella on the forums. It's 400 XP and 200 gold coins for a daily, and 4,000 and 2,000 for the weekly.
Whoever's speaking, we couldn't hear you. You got to speak up a little bit.
Okay, so I'll just repeat because he was kind of low. It's I think he said it was like 200 and 400 for daily, and
200 coin, 400 experience. Yeah.
Yeah, and then 4,000 EXP and 2,000 coin for weekly. Which the weekly seems pretty good, especially right now. The current weekly is just get kills, which is pretty easy. Everybody should be trying to do that when they're playing, so that's nice. That's just an additional little bit of EXP that you're going to be getting from playing. But when... Yeah, go ahead.
The stream is blinking, basically.
Whoa, it's going all crazy like.
It's having problems.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Can I fix it?
As long as the audio's fine, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, whatever. I mean, everybody's come to the point where they know we're gonna have video issues right now because everything's going all crazy on us. But yeah, is that all we had to talk about with the quests, or is there anything else?
I think
in the stream they mentioned something about double XP.
Yes, this weekend.
Right.
This weekend.
It's until after
New Year's.
New Year.
It's until New Year's.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Well, there you go. Okay, so double XP for a long time. Go kill stuff, guys.
Yeah, just to add to the quests, I think that the intentions of the devs were kind of to challenge the players. So those players that are used to being assault players or snipers will kind of step out of their comfort zone to try something new and challenge them to some new forms of playing within defensive combat.
Right. The first quest I got was 150 headshots with the G camp, and I was like, hell no, I'm not buying that gun. But anyway, it's still interesting. And
that's that's something I want to talk about. That seems a little excessive. 150 headshots with the G camp.
I couldn't
didn't
do
even
it.
try.
Yeah, there's no way. I didn't even try either. There's absolutely no way. I mean, Optic would be able to do it, and I could see Clips being able to do it, but other than that, no.
Yeah, if you're an assault rifle guy, you're not doing that.
Yeah, I tried it before. I got up to, what was it, 59 in about 4 or 5 games. It would take anybody else a lot longer.
I think those quantity issues are something that will definitely be changed in the future. So I don't know if we really need to talk about it that extensively.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously will get fixed because, I mean, like I said, I only know of 2 players out of everybody that could achieve that, and that's Optic and Clips. With or others that I just don't know about, but it's not everybody can do it.
I got a question,
Yeah.
Ken. What are you doing? What are you doing with that robot?
You don't want to know.
Are you violating the robot?
He's violating the robot's head.
So there's a couple of things I want to talk about the quest. First of all, Thinking Feller posted on the forums that they will be tweaking the quest a little bit. I totally agree with you that 150 headshots in the G camp is it's more than a challenge, right? Because a challenge is something achievable. It's something that's really kind of beyond that, and I'm sure those things will get tweaked. But one of the things I want to talk about is today's quest. So today's quest is kill a flag carrier 50 times. Which if you just think about that quest-wise, that's pretty cool. It's achievable. It promotes the CTF game type, which is cool. But one thing, and this might only happen with CTF, is what I saw today, is that everyone pretty much plays defense on their base, waiting for someone to grab a flag so that they could get that. That's and more so than usual, and I think that has to do with the daily quests as opposed to normally playing CTF. Because normally when you play CTF, a lot of players play defense because it's easier to get kills, but there are some people who go and try to cap the flag. And today when I played, I noticed a lot less people going for flag caps. And so one suggestion I'd like to make for the devs is it's fine to keep kill a flag carrier 50 times, but you should probably also balance that by saying having the quest say something like kill a flag carrier 50 times or cap a flag 10 times. I think that would be a little bit better, because then you won't have people who are just basically camping the flag to do that quest, which is what I saw today.
Agreed. Yeah, there was a lot of camping going on, and I think that wasn't the intention, of course, but that's kind of what that quest created. So I do agree that adding in, that to me is a defensive style quest, and I think if you were to add a offensive play kind of quest as well, like you said, capturing the flag instead of killing the carrier, that sort of thing definitely needs to be looked at anyway, at the very least.
Yeah, and it might be something that only happens with CTF, because CTF does have that, offensive, defensive mentality more so than some of the other game types. But it's something I did notice today, that, though it's a good quest, and, you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. It does change how people play CTF a lot, and so, it just needs to be tweaked a little bit.
Agreed, yeah. So, anybody else with the quests? Any last words, or can I steer us towards a little bit of gun talk?
Gun talk, let's do it.
Gun talk, all right. So instead of diving into like every single gun here, and I don't mean to rule out any of you sniper players or you shotgun guys or whatever, but let's kind of keep it to assault rifles for this time, and we'll dive into the other stuff on other streams. But let's talk assault rifles. All assault rifles, all the attachments, whatever you like. I can start just to kind of point us in the right direction. I just finished leveling the K36 to level 4, and I'm having a really hard time switching off to the Scab because I love the K36. It's just that perfect, happy balance between damage and range with the rate of fire, and it is my personal favorite. So, yeah, let's just, jump into it a little bit, and like, what are your guys' choices and why, sort of thing?
Well, they just tweaked the K36 a little bit in the last update, and I could tell you based off of Scooby and Green's feedback on the guns that they really like it. I started using it, and I actually like it a lot. I've been finding myself using that a lot more than the Scab or the Arbiter.
Yeah,
I think one thing.
Go ahead, Bonga.
I think one thing that is important to note is that the K36 does actually have the least or lower DPS than the Scab, and of course the Arbiter. So I don't know. I just think that that's something that's important to throw out there. But at the end of the day, I think it might come down to one of those things where it's just a feel of the gun. Like we were talking about the Havoc, how sometimes the Havoc doesn't feel quite right to us. Even when on paper it might look like a great gun. I think the K36 just kind of feels good when you use it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the K36. I would say that as for all the assault rifles, my two favorite are the K36 and the Scab. And I'll tell you why. The K36 is probably the most balanced assault rifle out there. I know that most of the people on the forums, and probably a majority of the people on Ventrilo right now, really like the Arbiter. I like the Arbiter a lot. Great rate of fire, wonderful gun, but I do notice with the Arbiter that there's a lot of places on the maps and it might be a playstyle thing, where I like to shoot. I will get damage drop off with the Arbiter. I don't get that with the K36. The K36, and if you go to the forums and you go to the newbie section, you can see the maps I made where I document damage range drop off. The K36 can pretty much hit all of the places that I like to shoot with full damage. Bongan is right in that its damage is not as high as the Scab, but the good thing about it is it's a little bit more forgiving. It has a faster rate of fire than the Scab, and so if you miss, it'll give you a quicker time to react to that, and it also has a larger magazine. So because of that, it's a little bit more newbie friendly than the Scab. Because of the Scab, very, very accurate, great damage, but if you miss a few shots, you might miss a kill, or you might miss 2 kills, because the magazine, even with the Plantain mod, which is a must-have, in my opinion, for any of the weapons,
Agreed.
You might miss a few. So, that's the thing. It's a little bit more user-friendly than the Scab, less accurate, less range than the Scab, less damage, but, in my opinion, a good all-around weapon. The K36 is my personal weapon of choice for mid and small-size maps, when I'm on dry run, when I'm on Ghetto Blaster. If I'm not trying to level another gun, I always switch to the K36. It's my weapon of choice. When I'm on big maps, like Hydroponic, or Disinformation, or Disaster Raids, I usually switch over to the Scab.
Who else do we got? Canna, you've been quiet, but you're dealing with the stream. Do you have time to talk about assault rifles, or?
I don't know. Assault rifles are weird to me in this game. Like what really hooked me in this game was sniping. Like the Ferret and close beta was like the perfect gun for me. But
you're totally just not an AR guy.
I'm not an AR guy at all. I did buy the Berishan AK-47, and I like the way it sounds. Then I got the silencer, and then I was like, man, this sounds like poop with the silencer, and then got all butthurt because I got the silencer, and yeah.
I can talk about the Arbiter a little bit. I actually have hated on the Arbiter quite a lot on forums, but I've started using it a little bit. I've got some spins on it and some upgrades, and I think it's my weapon of choice for maps like Probe Town, Shortest Yard, and Trigger Mortis. So a lot like Scooby was saying, how he switches between the Scab and K36. I do that with the Arbiter and the Scab. but it's just it's on those, on a little bit different maps, obviously. And Ghetto Blaster, I still use the scab, but the Arbiter definitely is nice on those smaller maps. And I think actually the Arbiter is a great gun for new players to start with because it is so forgiving. Players coming in to start playing this game probably might not realize that secondaries are so good for their first couple games. Just because in most games that I've played, at least, secondaries are gimped compared to primaries. That's not the case in offensive combat. So
that's very true.
So when they're engaging in those close range fights, having the Arbiter doesn't put them at as big of a disadvantage as having the Scab or even the K36 would, because it still has the highest DPS of any of the primary assault rifles. So I don't know. I think it's a gun that definitely has its place, and I can definitely see why it is popular among a lot of players. But I think that so much of its effective range is taken over by secondaries because they're just better in those ranges, that it just, I don't find it to be the best choice. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
I agree with that.
And it is a good opinion. I mean, I agree for the most part. Sorry, Scoop, I cut you off. What was that?
Oh, no, I just said I agree with Bong 100%. I
Yeah.
think, when Bong and it was the first time I saw anyone write about it in the forums, he said, it's just when you compare effective ranges, the Arbiter has the lowest effective range compared to the other guns because, if you're close, you want to be using something like a Razor, right? Some secondary. When you're far, you want to be using something like a Scab. And so the Arbiter has a very small range where it's the king. But that said, it is the most popular gun. It's the most forgiving gun. I know why people like it a lot. I mean, I have all of these guns level 4, and I've played with them a lot. And I would have to say I agree with Bongin 100% with all the stuff he said. And that's why I use the K36 and Scab, and he uses the Arbiter and the Scab. That's why we switch off.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, I'm an Arbiter and a K36 guy, and I'm not. I mean, I'm using the Scab right now just to level it, but given if I'm putting my tryhard pants on, I'm definitely going to the lower range, faster rate of fire stuff. So it's really it's all based on how it fits your game style and how you play.
And I think
It's
that's
also
actually
based on the
important.
situation too.
Of course, yes. Situational awareness is also a huge factor as well.
I think it's important to note, and I think this is something that I would really like to give kudos to Blaine, also known as Blazane on the forums. I think he's done a fantastic job at balancing the weapons. The fact that we are having, we have all the good players, or most of the good players in the game, on the Ventrella right now talking to you guys, and the fact that we all kind of have different preferences based off of what we think are the best assault rifles, that really speaks to the fact that they balance the assault rifles pretty much perfectly, and so people's preferences are based off of their playstyle more than a gun being OP. And I think that is a really, really strong point of offensive combat. It's the first FPS game that I played that's that well balanced, other than maybe Halo 1, which was also, in my opinion, pretty balanced. I think they did a great job. I think Blaine, you did a great job balancing these guns. Thank you for that. And before we table the assault rifle discussion, I'd like for Optic, who likes the Baryshnikov, to say a few words, because I think he's the only one in the stream right now who actually prefers the AK over the other guns.
He's insane. I don't want to listen to him.
I really like the Baryshnikov because it has a lot of spare ammo. Because whenever I use a Scab, I always run short of a couple bullets, then the guy would always kill me. With the Baryshnikov, it never happens. Plus the faster reload speed and the equipment speed helps me a lot, since I'm always rushing people whenever I have assault rifles. Sometimes I do it too with a sniper rifle, sometimes I just camp, but I do whatever I think I need to do, so.
Yeah, and he does have a huge point there about the ammo capacity of the Baryshnikov. It is nice. Actually, when we were at Euphoria there, I think it was Archer. I can't forget. I kind of forget who now, but I think it was Archer saying he liked
It was
the
Archer.
Baryshnikov.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Archer's
was him,
preference is
wasn't
the
it?
AK. Yep. He basically
And I
said,
was
"Yeah,
just
you know,
like, what?
And he goes, dude, Archer basically said, I see all the game stats. I see the game stats that you guys don't get to see. I see, like, all of the details of the weapons that are, you know, not easily available to the players right now. And he goes, I know, you know, I get it. I look at the scab, I see the numbers. But when I play, I like the AK. I like the way it feels. It fits my playstyle. It's the one I play with. And I think that's fantastic.
Definitely. Yeah, and I mean, again, for me, I can't stand it. Yeah, I don't like it at all. But
yeah, I don't like it either.
I actually liked it when it first came out, and I actually leveled it till almost level 3. But I just got turned off by it after a while because, you know, there'd be people that come up to me with something like the Arbiter or the Scab and just rock me, you know. So I just stopped using it and just started concentrating on the other guns, you know. But not to say it's a bad thing, but I think it has its place in the game. It's just not for everyone.
Yeah, I think that's about it. So thanks a lot for watching, guys.
Yep, I want to add
Don't
one more
forget
thing.
The poop.
For the machinima that we're working on, we're 50% done, and since there's I don't know, a lot of involvement, because I'm getting a lot of messages on the forums about it. People asking me if I'm still doing it or not, and I am. It's just I was waiting for certain stuff, and it just got sidetracked. So I'm gonna try to get the ball going on that again. And if you want to be a part of that, you know, just let me know. And the people that I already know that want to be a part of it, I know who you are, and I will not forget you. And whenever we're done here, I want to show the trailer on the stream so everybody can see it, and then I guess we'll call it a day.
We should definitely show the trailer, and I don't know if you've seen this, but they posted on the forums today that they are working on that actively right now to get us Annihilator and Disasteroid so we can finish that out. So I think it was either Archer or Thicky Feller posted on the forums about that said, yeah, we're working on it now. Hang tight, guys. We'll get that to you pretty soon here. Like, you know, within the next maybe couple weeks or so.
Yep.
Brilliant. All right, well, thanks again for watching, guys. Stick around, check out the trailer for Canna's Machinima deal going on right here on the stream. Aside from that, I think we could probably all say our goodbyes. So, yeah, goodbye.
Take care, guys.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Sorry about all the technical difficulties.